Go ahead.
Okay, so right now I'm just going to look at, what's the purpose of astrology? Does it, is it just, is it predestiny? Is everything all going to happen the way it's going to happen? Is there, what's the point of looking at the stars? Just let them roll on, let them wheel by. I can't control my future. Just let it happen. Um, well, that's always a very interesting point. And, a lot of clients that I have, want to better understand, what good can be gained by coming to have an astrology session with me. And the important thing I see is that we do have free will. So things, may be predestined to a certain extent, but we can change that destiny by better understanding what the stars are and seeing where the difficulties lie. It's a bit of the idea, like, when you have a train and it's leaving Toronto and it's going to San Francisco, it's all predestined. It is following a certain route. The tracks are all laid out. The exchanges are happening at certain points. It's all predestined, exactly where it's going to go. But if the engineer, he's got free will, that's you, that's me. If we change something about ourselves, we look into ourselves, and of course astrology allows that because it gives you it also gives you a psychological insight into yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses. And if you change something about yourself, you look inside and say, how can I change my future by looking at myself? I have to change something about myself psychologically. Then it's like the train engineer can change direction. I'm not going to San Francisco anymore. I'm heading for Vancouver. So then there's a whole new destiny that lies ahead. And astrology allows you the ability to kind of create your own future, have a better determination of where you want to take your life and where you want to go. So, you can change from, one route and go to another one, along the tracks. And and very often you see when you have like a difficult alignment coming up, and it could be something, certain things like with Pluto, it's called a square, forms 90 degree. When you have certain difficult alignments come up, my idea is that you've got to see, it's your attitude that determines the outcome. So, and most of us go into fear mode. When you get the big guys, like the Richard Bransons, the Donald Trumps, the Oprah Winfreys, these people have an innate ability to understand cycles. They know them, they feel them deep down inside. When they're confronted with a challenge, they just get in there and fight it out. They put on their armor, they put on their helmet, their sword, and they go in there and they fight it out. Most people go into fear mode and we get scared and we go running. And then that weakens our personal power. But with astrology, when it's explained in the proper way, someone can, have a sense like, okay, I'm heading into sort of a challenging period, or there'll be a certain area in my life that's got this challenge, but I've got the ability to do something about it because I'm aware of the time scale. And there's something, I don't know, it's almost magical in a way. Carl Jung had said, once you actually find the source of a complex, it miraculously cures itself. It's the same thing with astrology. What I found with clients, if I find where the problem is in a chart, where the problem is and what's coming up, all of a sudden they get a release and they start to feel happy. It's like a sense of freedom. Like I'm out of the jail, I'm out of prison, I can get out. And in fact, I see in a chart wheel. I haven't got a sample of it right now, but I'll show you sometime. But it's a wheel. It's a picture of the sky, and you got all the planets scattered around, and we're in the middle, and you got the ground we walk on, and the vertical axis on it. When you look at that, that's like the picture of the sky at the moment you're born. What that actually is your escape route. We're all in concentration camps. We're caught in this sublunar plane, and we're trying to find freedom. That horoscope chart, that chart wheel, is your way of getting out of here, because it tells you where all the dead ends are in the labyrinth, where the openings are, where the opportunities are, and you can then build on your strengths. There might be something that's kind of pushing down your way ability, your confidence, your ability to assert yourself, and especially when what are called transits, that's when the stars are at any position, like now or any time, when they relate to your birth chart, they can warn you of difficulties coming out. And it's that warning that's important, because it doesn't mean you have to fail. And by knowing that the difficulty is coming, you can preempt that problem, that challenge is coming, and be ready for it. So if it's raining, just a sample, it's the same thing as like if it's raining and you want to have a picnic, you say, I'm going to have a picnic, I don't care what the weather's doing. So you get a great big umbrella. And it's the same thing, if you've got some project you're working on, and you've got a problem coming up, and you can show it up in the chart, then you think, okay, I'm ready for it, and I'll do whatever I have to do to block it or stop it, by being positive, by having positive reinforcements, by compensating, building up your confidence if it's too low. If there's a threat to that, then you work on sort of reprogramming your mental attitude to get it right. So as far as the stars go, and astrology, it has one of the great purposes is a way of creating your own future, and just getting control of where your life's going, and that's it in a nutshell.
Great.